Good afternoon, it's May 16th. It's a Monday, which is the day I walk along the creek, which is what I'm going to do. I just happen to be doing it in the afternoon because of various reasons. That just didn't make it work out until now, so off we go. It's a lovely day, it's about 18 degrees, so I'm actually in shirt sleeves. This may be the first walk I've done in shirt sleeves this spring. It's a little cool, but it won't be once I keep walking here. We'll see how far we go. I might stretch this one out to a full hour by going across the Luvan, or under the Luvan, over to the Italian club, where I've often turned around and come back from. I might do that today. See how it goes. See how many dogs I run into at 2 o'clock in the afternoon compared to first thing in the morning. Dog walkers, I should say. Oh boy, I've got lots of stuff I'm working on, so it's not even worth talking about. There's so much of it. I guess I should mention I had a new podcast episode yesterday, featuring David Boop. He's a fantasy writer, screenwriter, essayist, award-winning essayist, former journalist, former actor. He was an interesting guy to talk to, and you can find that podcast at theworldshapers.com, where you can find all of them. And I think I mentioned I actually have received, or will receive, a grant from the Saskatchewan Arts Board based on my interviews. So it'll be about the creative process and what I've gleaned from 110 interviews now with other science fiction and fantasy authors. Hi, Brian in Toronto. I always point out this house. It's the one with the turret, which there's Postman up there. See the guy I know? He may say hi if he is, if he spots me. I'll follow the creek and just maybe follow it a bit further today than I have for a while. So I can walk at a good pace and he waved, but he didn't say hi. He's our postman. Actually just felt a bit of drizzle there out of that lonely cloud above my head. Well, not that lonely. There's quite a few clouds around, but that's the fluffiest one, and hence the most one likely to rain. Okay, up onto the dike. Feels like a long time since I've done this because of travel. We were out of town. I haven't walked around the lake. I was figuring if I go this Friday, it'll be the first time in 3 weeks, I think. Ice completely disappeared. Nice blue sky, starting to see some more green leaves all the time. Green grass. Halfway through May, it's about time. It started to look like spring around here. Up soon, flowers. Oh, they've done some work in their garden down there already. In a few spots. I'll have to get over to the community garden again here soon and see how it's developing. I also intend to get over to Harbor Landing, but that's a drive, and I don't always have a car these days because my daughter's working at the university, so she drives herself to the university, and my wife usually takes the other one to work, and I don't have a car, which kind of limits how far afield I can go for one of these walks during the weekdays. Then on the weekends, I usually only do. It's nice to take a day off, so don't know, but I'll get over there. Kind of promised a viewer that I would, a subscriber. I have 360 some subscribers now. I started with 40 a little over a year ago when I started doing this. So, what are they doing down there? Tearing up the road for some reason. Putting something in, it looks like. Alright, over the bridge. We will stop for the traditional look at the creek. I have never taken public transport in Regina. I know it exists. I've never ridden a city bus except if it was on a special tour of some kind. And I've lived here since 1988. So I wouldn't even know how to, I don't even know what the routes are. I don't know anything about it. Anyway. Not going to spend money to go to a walk. Yes, there is public transit, but I've never used it. I mean, I could take a taxi too, but that really seems extreme. It's not like we have a subway system. And a creek, looking very creekish. Still got a ways to go in the leaves, but they're working on it. I was thinking about going down into the park, but the waterfall still won't be running yet. Waterfall Park up here on my left. Down in the holler, as we would say in the south. Over there, there'll be a waterfall later where those rocks are. Artificial one, obviously. Now, shall I go down in the grass again? Maybe I will. Right down by the water. Easier to do it now than a bit later. Sure, we'll take the path down there. There's a what? A van lifer? Someone who lives in a van? It's much more secluded down here later once the leaves are all in. And it's also a great place for isn't down here closer to the creek. Off the paved path. which is right there. It's not like it's oof. As long as you watch out for the holes. When the leaves really settle in, I have on occasion kind of lost the signal if I come in here behind all the trees, but actually haven't had nearly as much signal drop out recently. See, good luck, touch. Also duck if you're on a bicycle. Look to the stars, says that one. And then, of course, the most important one of all, danger, thin ice. There's one for good luck. Certain times of the year. It's very, very thin right now. Oh, there's another sign one. I don't know what this one says. Take a big breath. And it kind of peters out in the birdhouse over there. And then over here, as I pointed out before, is the Horseshoe Club's horseshoe pitches. Okay, dandelions are popping up already. Flowering, I mean. Wildflower. They are a form of wildflower. You just think of them as a weed. They are attractive right up until they're not. And they go to seed. There's the horseshoe pitches. The creek is a little ways away here. We'll cross it again up here on the footbridge. There's the bridge. Yes, I made the right choice going to shirt sleeves. Could have gone to shorts. Now that the sun is out. Very warm. And getting warmer the more I walk, especially at a fairly brisk pace here. Once more onto the bridge. As Henry V almost said, but not quite. All right, here's the creek looking east. Yep, fresh air. We got lots of that, especially on a windy day. Looking west. Nice pale green in the trees there. Bokwell Civic Arts Center over there. Yeah, they've painted the turtle recently. I'm sure he wasn't painted like that last year. Last time I noticed. Say that happened fairly recently. Hi, Sai from Nigeria. Hi, welcome. Freshly painted turtle. Fairly freshly painted anyway. Actually, is a species called painted turtles, but that's not what that is. Jet. The airport's not far away. The airport's never far away in Regina. Certainly not compared to, say, Toronto or somewhere like that. What's that? Which route am I on? I'm on the Devonian Pathway through Les Sherman Park, just west of Elphinstone, just north of Muscana Creek, which is right over there. The path winds purely for aesthetic reasons. You can take a direct shortcut right by the creek, but I did that last time, so. I didn't walk yesterday, so I think, making this one a little longer. Make it a full hour. If I just walk my sort of normal path, it's more like 50 minutes. So I'll probably add 10 to 15 minutes to that today. There's the park. Grass has been recently mown, obviously. Now that it's starting to grow. Very green. Need to get our yard cleaned up. Our backyard's going to get torn up because we're building a deck, but the front yard has a lot of dead leaves in it from the winter. smell the fresh mown grass, which is lovely. Probably we're just out here, maybe even today. But you can still see the paths in the grass. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that this morning. Next up, one of the ball diamonds. So I plan to go under both bridges and walk over on the other side of the Luvan today before I turn around and come back. Same to you. It is, generally speaking, calm and green. And there's a lot of it. It runs right through the city from one corner to from southeast to northwest. One of these days I'm going to walk the whole thing. Probably be about a 3-hour walk. Maybe this summer I'll find a way to do that. Get dropped off at one end and get picked up at the other. It's also part of the Trans-Canada Trail, so if you're hiking right across Canada, you would come through here. A lot of shouting going on behind me, but I don't know why. Look like high school students probably. Just having a conversation at the top of their lungs. I don't think they were fighting or anything, but they sure are noisy. Oh, they're mowing over there now. Hence the smell of new mown grass. Oof. One rough spot in the path and I managed to trip on it. Par for the course for me. Although I only fell once this winter, and that was back on November 11th. If you go back and find the video, you can watch me fall down. You can fall down with me. He really should have rung a bell as he went by. I had no idea he was there. Cyclists forget that they are silent to pedestrians. They do have this mirror here. Well, it's broken. It's been broken by vandals every time they put it up. So that's the Pasco Street Bridge. Over here, these canoes are used by students for canoeing in phys ed classes around this time of year. They'll be on the creek at some point. See, Devonian Pathway, it's called. Another city-owned ball diamond. Apartment buildings over there. And this is the Luvan we're coming up to, which is the faster sort of north-south route. Higher speed limits for most of its length, although lots of stoplights further to the north. There is a bypass now. You can go clear around the city. If you're coming in on the Trans-Canada, you don't have to come anywhere near the city if you don't want to. That's the airport over there a little bit. It's actually those aren't exactly airport buildings over there in front of us, but that direction is the airport. You can actually see the control tower, or I could. It's behind the tree now. Over there is the curling rink. We'll be getting Yeah, I didn't really go down and look at the weir this time, but can see it catching the sun there. That's to control water levels as required. Why would this be wet? Flood control valve. I mean, we did have rain, a lot of rain, on Friday, which is why I didn't walk around the lake that day. Thursday, Friday, so I guess that's just left over from that. Okay, now we'll go under the Luvan Bridge. The Luvan is 4 lanes, so it's really 2 bridges. The path? No, you can't take the path to the airport. It's not a friendly walk going over to the airport. I guess you could do it, but it's designed to have people drive to it for sure. It's over that way now. You can't see it behind the dike. No, we're now curving away from the airport. We'll go up here around the bend, a little further up here, and then I'll go over the dike, and then I'll head back, and I'll cross the Luvan at ground level. It's actually a par 3 golf course. That's what those sort of little trees mark. The Craig Golf Course. I love the fact they have an arrow pointing to it, but there's no way to get there from here. Quite a bit of water standing in the ditch here too from the rain the other night. It's mosquito breeding puddles is what that is, or it will be. School bus is on the move. I think the girl back there waved at me and I wasn't looking, but I think I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Well, wave to the camera anyway. Probably get a better look maybe down toward the airport once I get up on the dike a little further up here and leave the path. How long have I been out? Yeah, I'm at the halfway mark, so definitely I'll turn around up here and start working my way back. So it'll be about an hour to get back home total. I have walked quite a distance along this path further up, and quite a bit along it down in the southeast corner too, but mostly it's chunks of it. So if I ever do decide to walk the whole thing, first I'll find out exactly how far it is, and I'll make sure I take water with me if it's on a summer day. That would be fun. It would be my equivalent of the Great Ramble, which they do in Manhattan every year, where people walk the entire circumference of the island. There's a fellow there called, his YouTube channel is Walking Commuter, and that's kind of when we first became aware of him. We watched his circumnavigation of Manhattan Island, not all in one chunk because it's about an 8-hour walk, but we watched it over time. Because when am I ever going to walk around Manhattan Island? I can answer that. Never. The rushes haven't come up yet. And then over there, you can almost see it from here. Past those trees and a little further is the off-leash dog park. That building over there is a curling rink. Sandra Schmerler was famous Regina curler, curled there. Passed away a few years ago. So this is a pretty bend in the creek, prettier a little bit later on when more of the vegetation is grown up. With the willows here. Yeah, I definitely don't want to cut across the grass along here. One of those little stretches of wet where if you're on a racing bike with no fenders, you regret the lack of fenders as the stripe of muddy water goes up your back. That's the curling rink over there. And the off-leash dog park is just the other side of that fence there. I don't see anybody out. Oh yeah, there's somebody out in the middle there. Don't know if they have a dog or not, but I see somebody. Oh, there's a couple of people over there as well. And I do see dogs, so it's a great big open space for the dogs to run around in. Well, you can't really see the airport from here. It's behind the buildings, but it's that away. I'm going to go down here and get on this street to head back. Let you get a bit of a panoramic view here. Just that little bit of elevation. So the airport is just down that way, the other side of those buildings. You've got things like FedEx and assorted things like that over there. And then the curling rink. I have walked over there, but not today. And we'll go down here over to the Italian Club and head back along 13th. Ooh. Try not to break an ankle as I descend. As we'll stay on the sidewalk. So yeah, that's the Italian Club over there. I think the only events I might have been there for a German Wine Society, oddly enough, event. But normally in January they've held something called a Taste of Cathedral. All the local restaurants have food tables and there's a silent auction and fundraiser. Obviously that hasn't happened due to some virus that's been going around. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. There's been this virus going around. But hopefully we'll get there next year. We can get people away from the fear that has been inculcated in them by authorities. So this will take us up to 13th. And I'll probably just walk down 13th because I haven't done that for a while. Once I get across the Luvan. So sometimes I come and park here, start here, and then walk on along the path all the way up to around the RCMP barracks, which are down that way. Training depot, I should say, really. Every Mountie in Canada is trained here in Regina. And it's also where the museum is, National Museum for the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Okay, now we've got to walk back, cross over the Luvan at the crosswalk. And sure enough, I got dust in my eyes once I turned into the wind. And where the FedEx truck is probably heading to the FedEx depot, which is up. If you're going down that way, you can turn down the road. It takes you straight to the airport. It's not the way you would go if you were dropping somebody off or picking somebody up, but it takes you to the auxiliary buildings. I guess you could go that way. You certainly could. It might actually make more sense if you were coming from down here. It's just not where I go because this isn't where I come from when I head to the airport. Playground. I'm not sure what this building is, some kind of city facility. It's a sign that says no trespassing, city vehicles only. I'm not a city vehicle, so I guess I better not go down there. Oh, right. I've walked by the sign a million times. I know what it is. It's Parks Maintenance, District 3 building. Hopefully this works out pretty well. I can get up here before it changes. It's usually a pretty good wait, so the timing will work out all right because it still says walk in the other direction. So that's looking up the Luvan. The fairgrounds over there. Mosaic Stadium is behind those trees. You can't see it from here. Where the Rough Riders will play if the CFL strike ends. They're supposed to have a game next weekend, but their training camp has currently been canceled because of a strike, players' strike. So we'll see how that plays out, or doesn't play out, I guess you could say. I don't know if there'll be a left turn signal before I get a walk. Nope. Yeah, I think I'll walk down 13th. Just takes us by some more interesting buildings. Some newer houses along here, plus some old, smaller ones. Yeah, hopefully the street sweeping will help with the dust that keeps getting in my eyes. It's always the worst time of the year for contacts wearers. All the dust left behind by the melting snow. Whenever there's a bit of a breeze, and there's always a breeze, like there is today, it gets blown up. And it always seems to find its way into your eyes. Well, maybe not into your eyes, but certainly into my eyes. Used to be an old church there that was Martin's School of Dance. It's been gone for quite a while now. I just know that because having a connection to the dance world while my daughter was growing up. I don't know where Martin has relocated to. Here's a 7-Eleven, which is tempting to go in and get a big gulp. I'm quite dry from the wind and the walking, but I'll be home soon. Sure I won't dehydrate in the small amount of time left to go. 20 minutes or so from here, I would think. Maybe 30. 25. Probably not 30. Garnet Street. See, these are probably built just after the Second World War, these little houses. Possibly even after the First. My house on Garnet Street that I used to live in was a post-First World War house. Not much bigger than those. Well, no bigger than those, just a different shape. Yeah, those might go back even further into between the wars. Church of God, I believe. Yeah. King's Corner Church of God, because it's on King Street, but it makes for a great name for a church. King's Corner. Church is better with coffee. It's probably true. We never had coffee when I was growing up. We didn't get that at church until after, if there was a fellowship, but certainly not during the service. But these Christians today in their newfangled ways. New house, but boy, is that boring. I guess it's because it's the side, it's not the front. The front faces onto the side street. Ooh, metal roof. Betcha that's noisy in a hailstorm. After King Street comes Queen Street. Queen Elizabeth, Queen of Canada, celebrating her Platinum Jubilee. "96 years old. Long may she reign." Because the longer she reigns, the less we have Charles. Oh dear, off with his head. I can hear somebody saying that now. Now they face this way. Still long and skinny, but it has a nice red door. Alley-oop, oop, oop. And if you recognize that, you're as old as I am. And so naturally after King and Queen comes Princess Street. And of course the whole city is named after Queen Victoria, Regina, except somehow turned into Regina over the years. I wonder if they surely didn't say Regina when they first named it. They must have said Regina. Nice Porsche there, just walked by. Maybe he'll come this way. Yeah, he's coming this way. Here goes, watch this Porsche go by. Ooh, convertible. We actually have a Porsche dealership in Saskatchewan, up in Saskatoon. Several years ago now when they launched it, I was at their sort of launch that they held here, because I was editing a magazine at the time. And we did a story on it, but I've never been to the dealership. I don't really know, well, I kind of know where it must be, because all the car dealerships in Saskatoon seem to be in roughly the same place. I haven't been into their showroom. I am unlikely to buy a Porsche. Where's the pity? Although I've driven several in the car racing game I like, but Real Racing 3, great little game. Great to play on the phone because the phone makes a great controller for it. I used to play it on the iPad, but I like it better on the phone. Smaller, lighter, more agile. School zone, we're coming up to Cant School. More alleys. Funny, it's just like one every block. Brand new school, replacing one that was built in 1914 and was just deteriorated too far to save. I've never been in here. I was in the old one once or twice, but I've never been in the new one. That's an awful building on that corner, very boring. New, but boring. There's the school, looks quite inviting. Hello, Dwight. Ecole Cant Community School. If it says Ecole on it, probably has a French immersion program. Next, we'll get the Cant Library on the next corner. Perfect timing for the crosswalk, at least. It's the last crosswalk I have to worry about. This one was built in the 30s. $1930 exactly, is that what it says on it? Yeah, 1930 says over the door. Over there is Slate Fine Art Gallery. The fried chicken place next to it used to be one of our favorite sort of high-end restaurants, but no more. That's the end of the school zone. I can increase my walking pace to 50 kilometers an hour now, but I don't think I will. Oh, am I getting thirsty? Sculpture here. Greystone Manor. My parents lived in a place in Weyburn called Greystone Manor, but no connection. Also, no stone involved. Maybe it's got a... No, definitely just siding. I don't know why they call it grey stone if you're not going to put stone on it. These houses are probably built in the 20s. 20s or 30s. Kind of our era of house. Ours was built in 26, so it'll be 100 years old in 4 years. This used to be a nunnery. Get thee to a nunnery. Once upon a time thou couldst gotten thyself to this one. But no longer, it is now condos, and nobody says get thee to a condo. Well, not in Shakespeare anyway. Groovy Mama is clothing, I think. Children's clothing, maybe? I really don't know. Never been in there. No, it's looking very pretty now as the sun continues to shine and the plants are so green. Nice look at it. Hey, apparently there's a vacancy, place for sale. As I often mention, I once dated a girl who lived there, so I was in there once. Literally once. It was not a long-lasting relationship, just a, hey, want to go to this concert? Sure. 13th Avenue coffee house over there. And of course, Holy Rosary Cathedral here. Oh, I think they've finally taken the ugly temporary signage down, which I've often complained about. These rows of houses here, nice, have a nice effect. They all have businesses in them, I think, but they look nice standing there together. And they had a big, ugly temporary sign here for a long time, but no longer. So there's Holy Rosary Cathedral, built about 1910, I believe. Over on that side, see it says bookshop on that little pink sign, Penny University Bookstore. I haven't been in there in quite a while, but they do have some of my books. I'm not sure what seed is next to it. It looks like clothing. Over there. That's Des Arts and has candy and ice cream. Yum. Yeah, Holy Rosary has a very minimalist interior, but it's nice. Great place for concerts. This is Westminster United. Another old one, probably a Presbyterian or Methodist church originally. I don't remember which. It says right on it, Westminster Presbyterian Church, AD 1912. So, started life as a Presbyterian church. Coffee shop, Gale's Florist. Bought a lot of flowers there over the years. This is where I do a lot of my mailing. So there's a post office in there. This is where we buy fresh fish. This is where you get run over on the sidewalk if people aren't paying attention, because it's a terrible parking lot. I'll go down this way. That's Safeway, which is where we do most of our grocery shopping. There's a diner over there, Mercury Cafe. It has a rocket ship on it, which I approve of as a science fiction writer. So yeah, Pacific Fresh Fish, where we get fish. And there's a pub, which I've only ever been into once. They didn't impress us the first time we went in, so I've never been back. Takeaway Gourmet has lots of gourmet food stuff, but especially cheese. It's our cheese shop, chocolate store, bakery, although we don't usually buy our bread there. Orange Cafe, and Butcher Boy Meats, where we buy our meats. And now you know. If you're looking where we shop, if you want to shop where we shop, this is where we shop. For most things that we need. Ooh. Particularly warm up against this brick wall. The Alpha Apartments, that one's called, I believe. And these were the Beta Apartments, if I remember right. But there are no Gamma ones that I'm aware of. These are condos. I think the other ones might still be rentals. We actually looked at one of these when we were looking for a condo, and we liked it a lot, but it was on the third floor. There was no elevator. And the floor sloped so much that if you dropped something in the kitchen that rolled, you always knew where it would end up, because it would roll into one particular corner of the floor. Another old apartment building. I think this one was closed for a while because of a fire. It seems to be back in rental now. Just a couple of more blocks to go up Retallick, and I will be home, sweet home. So these houses would have been built in the teens and 20s along here. For the most part, I think. I've been in that one. I don't remember why, but I know I have been. Some of these houses were, houses of friends of Alice's when she was in elementary school, but your elementary school friends, it's rarely that you stay in close contact with them. If you go to different high schools, especially. Certainly I didn't, but then we moved to Texas in the middle of elementary school, which didn't help. And even though I did go to high school with some people I knew in elementary school, we didn't stay close as friends. So, it's just the way it works when you're a kid. These ones are new. There was a big fire here, probably 15 years ago. Hi. Probably took out 2 houses there. This one was under construction for a long time, but I got it done finally. Yeah, I think these are probably just a little older than ours. I have a feeling these are probably built in the teens, and ours was built in the 20s. You can always tell when it was a developer that was using the same plan for multiple houses, whereas ours was a one-off, designed by an architect for a doctor, we think, who lived there before my wife's grandparents bought the house in 1939. But my wife's family, counting me, has been there ever since. This road has been closed for several days now. They seem to be doing the same thing they were doing over on the by the creek when I walked by up there earlier. They actually got flowers out here. I don't know if those are real or not. It's a big hole. Something to do with water mains, I would guess. Oh, Sask Energy. No, it must be gas. Gas lines, either that or Sask Energy is there to make sure they don't run into any gas lines, but and here's Davin School, where my daughter went to elementary school. They called it the Crescent School now, but it says Davin over the top of the door, and it was Davin when my daughter was there. I'm not changing it. Yes, we have street sweeping tomorrow. I must remember not to park our cars on the street overnight. They always say from 4 a.m. on. Odds are they won't show up that early, but if they do, you don't want to have your car sitting out there. So we'll have to park it in the alley tonight. Playground over here. And I'll stop up here at the alley because I want to take our garbage bin in Otherwise it gets filled up with dog poop as dog walkers use it. So I like to keep it inside our yard. I know that's about the oldest house in the neighborhood. It used to be the bishop's house, where the bishop lived for the cathedral. Okay, I will stop here. So thanks for walking with me. And tomorrow I'll probably be walking downtown in a two-parter. But until then, goodbye.